Access denied. What?
I think we're live, though, at least.
We are.
Hey! You used the Kemet picture.
I did.
Oh.
And we'll... Okay, we are live. I hear myself in the stream. Welcome back to the show without an intro, Big Box Weekly. I'm Greg. I'm thinking about sides. That's a still image of Kemet because his camera's still broken. And way over there is Tim.
How's it going?
Welcome. What's going on, gentlemen?
Page 2 of 365.
Are you actually trying to stream every day this year?
I'm going to keep going with the numbers until I forget to stream or forget to update it. Ow, fuck.
There you go.
Yeah, so figure why not.
No, I was just curious because I saw that because initially you commented in the Discord. You were like, "Yeah, new year, new me, page 1 of 365," and I just thought you were making a joke.
I was
trying to be a basic bitch.
Yes, I was because the day before Zodiac, me and him were having a conversation about the bad cliche sayings, basic bitch sayings, and I had forgotten about the whole page thing. So
I had entirely until you mentioned it, and then I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
So you
This
can thank
fucking guy.
Yeah, you can thank Zodiac for that one.
Wow, thanks Twitch for just now notifying me that Big Box Gamers is live while I'm watching it. Great timing.
Change
As
that
if I didn't
notification.
know.
Twitch
Yeah, I
is-
should change that notification back. At one point it said live with Big Box Weekly, but that might have only been the mobile notification.
Well, it
I don't
says
remember now. It's been a little while.
Big Box Weekly is back, which is true.
Oh, okay. Was that the mobile one or the desktop one?
Mobile.
Okay. So it might have been
Oh, the desktop.
might be the
was
desktop one that's wrong then. Okay. Well, I'll deal with that at some point here. And by that I mean eventually I'll tell Kemet to fix it.
Cabot, fix it.
I'm looking.
So anyways, welcome back, gentlemen. Happy New Year, because it's New Year now. It's now
Hap-
2022,
Yeah, it is.
no
You guys-
longer 2021.
How did your guys, if in retrospect, how did your 2021 go?
Hmm.
Eh.
Do you guys have a quicker answer? Because I actually kind of have to think on that one.
Cabot?
I don't know. Parts of it were real shit, but others weren't.
Overall, did the year trend upward or downward? You're a STEM guy. You understand trends.
Yeah. I know.
Use your words, Cabot.
All
Or
right. Well,
don't.
since he
That's-
can't come up with an answer, I
Thinking
guess
about
I'll go a little quicker here on mine then while he's thinking. I would have to say that overall my 2021 trended upwards.
That's good.
Yeah, I would say despite everything going on in the world trying to make it not the case, it did trend upwards.
Glad-
I moved jobs. I started a company. Well, I guess I technically started another company. I did some fun stuff. I guess technically our little endeavor was started in 2021, so that's a thing.
Technically.
Yeah, no, I did some... I think I did some cool shit in 2021. Despite the world being on fire all around me.
Well, you made the best out of a kind of a less than ideal situation, maybe?
See, the weird thing is, like, yeah, the whole world was on fire around me. But if I have to be honest, even with all of the shit going on in the world, it really didn't feel much different to me than the year prior or the year prior to that. Because even with all of this stuff going on, with the exception of twice now, being this past week and another couple day period back in the middle of 2020, I've been at work just like normal. I've done my vacations just like normal. I guess the one thing that has changed is in 2020, I canceled my California fishing trip in 36 hours. I canceled that because that was right when the whole thing was going crazy and everyone was all panicked and freaked out, and work was like, well, if you fly over to California, we might not be able to let you come back. You might have to quarantine. We don't know if we're paying you for that yet.
Well,
that was right at the whole start of the craze.
Right.
So other than those 3 instances, I've been going to work like normal. I've slapped a piece of cloth over my face in public and continued to do all my normal tasks.
That's hot.
No, I still fished my tournaments. I guess robotics has been missing from my life, but I don't know. It was kind of, robotics has been definitely missing from my life. So I guess that's been the only big change really for me during COVID. Uh-oh. All right, did I just flag us? Am I allowed to say COVID?
I hope so.
We're not on YouTube, so even better. We're good.
Perfect.
I don't know. So I feel like I trended upward in 2021, just like I did in 2020, just like I did in 2019.
You're a survivor.
Pretty much ever since 2015, I've been trending upward. But 2014 to 2015, I definitely took a massive down because I feel like I kind of peaked back then.
Wait, that's when you met me.
Yeah, I guess when I met you was right about, right as I felt like I was kind of peaking.
Oh, okay. I can...
I not through any fault of you, but
right.
I feel like I kind of peaked back then, and I've been struggling to attain my former successes.
Well, it's not every day.
I feel like I had a unusually successful set of high school years.
I would probably agree with that. Not too many people that can say that they did what you did in high school.
Yeah, I feel like I've got a pretty distinctive list of accomplishments.
Would you like to tell the stream them? Because they may not know.
Sure, I will, but let me ask Kemet first if he's come up with an answer yet, or if he still needs me to stall for more time.
I mean, I do have an answer, but I also want to hear you stall, so go ahead and stall.
Okay, let's see, how far back do we want to go? I don't know, my sophomore year wasn't anything really super special. I mean, I guess that's kind of where... So I guess, my sophomore year was the first year I attended Robotics World Championships as a competitor, where I qualified to go to Worlds. We made it to divisional quarterfinals. One of our other teams made it to divisional semifinals, because I jumped over to help them coaching once my team was knocked out. But that was also the year that we worked with the city manager and got on the city's notice and got a whole bunch of help funding from them. So I guess that kind of stepped in as part of it. Fast forward a year, I guess it would be pretty easy for me to say that 2013 was kind of my peak year, because 2013 we won world championships. Following that, we were, because of our big involvement with the city, granted key to the city, all members of the team.
I didn't know that.
We broke. Yeah, I have it. We broke the stream. Something happened. If not too late for dessert. Oh no. So yeah, granted keys to the city. I have mine. I think mine is... No, actually, it's right here. It's not tucked away. It's just up on the shelf. Key to the city. So I can get in after hours now. Really handy. Anyway, God, I can't tell you how many times I've made that stupid, shitty joke. I can't say Key to the City now without following it immediately up with I can get in after hours.
Unless they
That's how
change the
much
law.
I made that joke. Anyways, though, so we got Key to the City. We were invited to some Chamber of Commerce City Council breakfast thing. We are in the congressional record. I forget the exact circumstances of why we were submitted into the congressional record for our accomplishments. I can't remember the exact circumstances. So you'll have to forgive me on that one. I got to give a speech on a STEM education panel beginning of my senior year with the president of the Robotics Education Competition Foundation, some other STEM organization people. That was at Gillette Stadium, Patriots Stadium.
Yep.
So I got to go speak in a VIP box there. Fast forward a little bit from that, I was introducing Colin Powell as a speaker at the school.
Jesus Christ!
I'm telling you, man, I fucking peaked back then. So I got to introduce Colin Powell.
Rip.
Fast forward, yeah, he passed last year, or earlier. Yeah, last year now, but not super long ago, right? Like 8 months, maybe 6-8 months.
Yeah, it was fall, wasn't it?
I want to say yes, but I'm not 100% sure. Then a little bit later on that year, and this plaque I don't have immediately handy. It's out there in my old office. I was named out of the 400 or so seniors in our class, Outstanding Vocational Student of the Year for our school. Fast forward a little bit for that, it was announced that our graduation speaker was going to be President Obama. I was asked to be a part of a panel of students that spoke with his speechwriters so they could kind of get an idea of, everything that would be relevant for him to mention in a graduation speech. Obviously, we've joked about it before, but I was actually directly mentioned in the graduation speech about my achievements and my commitment to giving back to the community and all that shit. Yeah, like I said, I kind of, when you talk about peaked in high school, like, usually peaked in high school is kind of like a slam because it means people just haven't done shit since high school, but like,
Right.
I peaked in high school and honestly I'm struggling to try to do better.
Man, that's a tough route to try and go up from
Like,
there.
It's been a struggle, which is why I have very severe, like, it's not diagnosed because I don't believe in the whole, this is going to sound really horrible. I don't necessarily believe in the whole you need to see a therapist to sort out all your issues. Like, I get that seeing a therapist helps people. It clearly does. Some people cannot get out of their own head without the help of a therapist, so I'm not discounting the profession.
Thank you.
Like, they're important. It's just not my thing.
Fair enough.
I can't go sit on a couch and open up to somebody that I've never met before and I'm paying $100 an hour.
I don't have a couch.
Oh, well. But, like, it just, the whole thing just seems so forced and screwed up to me. Whatever. It works for people. That's fine. I've never tried it, so I can't say it doesn't work for me, but it's just not my thing. So undiagnosed, I have wicked bad imposter syndrome. Which, for people who are uninitiated as to what that is, It's basically the idea that you feel like, in a sense, you feel like you're just kind of living through everything that's going on, and accolades and achievements and recognition and stuff. You're sitting there kind of going like, I don't know how I got any of this. I'm a moron. I think that's a fairly good summary of it.
It's yeah.
It's probably not quite totally accurate, but I think that's a pretty good layman's term summary of what imposter syndrome is.
It's very close enough, yeah.
But yeah, no, I have wicked bad imposter syndrome, which probably stems from the fact that I have this, like, it sounds really stupid for me to say this even. I feel like an idiot saying this, but like, I have a reputation that precedes me when I show up places. Like, at least in the spaces that I tend to occupy, you know, in the robotics space, I obviously have a reputation that precedes me. Even in like the industrial spaces that I've been working for the most part, because my high school was involved with, you know, it's a vocational school, so there's co-ops at certain companies, so there's advisory councils and stuff like that. People who have later on gone on to be my boss at jobs knew me back in my high school days from advisory council meetings that I was a part of. So they knew all about my accolades and whatnot back then, you know? So it's just all of this stuff that, you know, I can't seem to figure out how to follow is definitely following me, you know?
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, so I'm trying to sort that all out. Because, like, I'll tell you what, one of the most annoying sentences I have ever heard in my life is, "Oh man, you're way too good for this place. What are you still doing here?" It's like, that is not a helpful thing to say to anyone ever.
No, it is.
Because worst case is you're telling them something they already know because they're actively trying to solve that problem. Like, that's the best case scenario for that. Worst case is you're basically saying, "Hey kid, you're not that dumb. Why are you still here?" And you make them go, "Well shit, maybe I am that dumb because I kind of enjoyed what I was doing here."
Right? Man, I would love to have some sessions with you, Greg.
And I'd love to decline.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, I'm not unbiased, so I would not. I would not do that, but it's fascinating.
Yeah, I've got a lot, man. I got a lot going on.
And you're right, therapy is not for everybody.
No, like I said, I've never actually tried it either, so maybe it is for me, but I can't even get over the mental hurdle of, like I said, it just seems so forced and contrived to me.
And it shouldn't be.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. Yeah, there you go. There's my life story. I've stalled for 18 minutes here, Kemet. You think you can tell us how your 2021 went yet?
Nowhere near as interesting as any of that.
Well,
so what you're saying is I had a tough act to follow, huh? Thanks for confirming what we already knew.
I mean, yeah, I guess I would have to say it trended upwards since I guess I graduated this year and
There you
found
go.
a
That's an
decent
achievement.
job, and also sat inside for 4 months staring at a computer trying to find a job. That wasn't
Yep.
the best.
I remember those days. I was sending you probably 7 or 8 Indeed links a day.
And I was applying to all of them and not hearing back from any of them.
damn.
I don't know if it's just because industry-wise you're in a different industry than me. I have never experienced that. Like,
yeah.
I hear people talk, and not just like your industry, but in a lot of different industries, including the industry I thought I was in, talking about how hard it is to get interviews or even hear back from companies. I've just never experienced that. It's so weird to me when I hear people that I think are very talented individuals saying, "I can't even get anyone to talk to me."
That was my life for most of this year.
That's just it's so shitty.
Yeah.
Half of my jobs I never even applied for.
Dude, same.
That's the crazy thing. The job I ended up getting, I didn't apply for. After applying for hundreds of jobs. One of my teachers happened to send my resume off to this company because they thought I would like it, and they ended up calling me.
I was gonna say, like, I'll here we go. Well, this is just gonna turn into the Greg hour, I guess. But like that, Tim got me thinking here. And I
Good.
still have that story I forgot from last week. We'll get to
Oh,
that one.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one. That I still can't believe it happened, to be honest with you. But
Shit.
talking about, most of your jobs were never anything you actively sought or applied for or anything. I'll go back through my history here. My very first job in high school was my high school co-op. I worked in an R&D lab.
That's fucking awesome. That's your first job.
It sounds a lot better than it was. R&D lab is probably not quite the right term, even though that's what they called themselves.
I see.
It sounds a lot better than it was. Don't get me wrong, I made some good friends there, none of which I talk to anymore, so I guess they weren't that good, but so that one kind of sought me out by virtue of being at the top of my class. So then that one, I was basically told, well, since you're not going to the local community college and you're going for a bachelor's degree, we can't really keep you on, even though we told you we'd be able to keep you on.
Oh.
So I got out of that one right at the beginning of the summer after my senior year. I took that summer off, didn't really go looking for a job until that fall. First job I got that fall, that one I didn't go seeking out. That was my first real exposure to computers and whatnot. I was a computer repair tech because my parents were out shopping and they started talking to somebody. And basically it came around to eventually be, well, hey, we're kind of looking for someone to fill this role. If your son's interested, just have him come talk to us. So that was the first one. Then the second one, I just happened to see a sign for this place. This was the tutoring center that I was at for 3 years. I just happened to see a sign that said like robotics and IT classes. I was like, I gotta look into this place. So I called the guy and I was like, hey, I would love in any way to kind of help what you're doing. And then I grew to be the technical director there over the course of a few years. So that one, again, totally random. I just saw a little advertising sign on the side of the road, so I didn't go looking for that one. The next computer repair job I did actively go looking for after my bosses at the other one accused me of theft and then illegally searched my property.
Oh.
Told them to go pound sand. Let's see, the next one was my robotics-related job, where I was doing event support, and that one just came out of nowhere. I was a name that came up a bunch, apparently, in discussions to fill that role. So I filled that role. Did that for about a year. And then the next one, doing the enterprise computer stuff, the guy that ended up hiring me, he was a volunteer for robotics. He literally like tracked me down. He remembered me mentioning something about working at that tutoring center, and he like found the tutoring center and came in and found me one day. I was like, hey, are you still looking for work? So I didn't go looking for that one. And then at Big Box Inc., my buddy got a job there first, and he called me. He was like, hey, I can get a referral bonus if I can fill someone in this role, and you'd probably fit the job pretty well. So yeah, I've had a very long history of not searching for jobs. Did
be
Discord
nice.
break? Oh, okay.
No,
I was gonna
no,
say,
it's-
Discord break on me?
Nope.
I'm
it's-
just shocked.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like I peaked, and I'm just fighting to catch back up to where I once was. think it all kind of ties into itself.
Tough uphill climb there, Greg.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now I'm just trying to do my own damn thing.
There you go. I like it.
All right, I've literally monopolized the entire first half of the show here. So you guys got to come up with something here for a little bit before I wrap the show.
Kevin, did you have anything to add in your last year?
Not really. I spent most of the year trying to finish school and then find a job.
Okay.
And now I'm here.
Well, the reason I asked this question to begin with was a lot of people in my area that I'm acquaintances with have said that this not this year, 2021 was an awful year and was worse than 2020 for them. And I got to thinking about it. I'm like, God, it didn't feel like it was worse than 2020. I mean, really, 2019 I felt was pretty bad. 2020, while it was with the whole, obviously with the whole COVID thing was trash, and but I thought some good things came out of 2020. And then 2021, there was, I felt for me a little bit more stable. I know according to I have a mood app that you can check in once or multiple times a day. And I've been doing it since like April of 2019. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, according to the mood app, my mood was much more stable throughout 2021 than it was 2020 or even before in 2019. That's not to say that, it didn't have ups and downs and, like hitting the deer and
Yeah, that would mess with you. Rip smart car.
yeah, that was definitely a down period of
days at least.
Yeah. And, cause I honestly loved that car. It was really fun to drive, and it I don't know. I really don't know how to. It kind of took me by surprise when I had it. Maybe it's because I didn't have a choice in it either. The insurance company kind of said, "Hey, here's our decision that we're totaling it, and you got to sign over the thing, and we're going to tow it tomorrow." So it's like I didn't really even have time.
Now, when they totaled it, you weren't able to like purchase the salvage title or anything?
Nope.
That's weird. Normally, that's like part of the process is if they decide to total it, you can then purchase it as a salvage title.
Yeah, that wasn't even offered. So
that's odd.
Yeah. Did I get screwed over? Maybe. But
perhaps.
It was. I'm very happy with the vehicle that I have now. It's at least it's something that I can drive in the winter, as opposed to the smart car, which you could not drive in snow at all because it weighed,
I found it weighed less than you sitting in it. Like,
I think I doubled the weight when I sat in it, and it was rear-wheel drive, so that just made
combo.
It was if it rained hard enough, I would have to pull over.
Yeah,
because it was just hydroplaned so easily. So,
I could never drive a car that light around here, man.
No.
Oh, you would die with all the potholes.
That too. Or the foot-deep ravine going down the center of my road.
Yeah, that would not last.
I just meant New England road in general.
Do you remember? Oh God, I want to say I talked to you about the idea. Maybe it'll happen again. Maybe that idea will come back around here soon. Remember when I told you I was going to buy a smart car and swap it with an LS2?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never did that. Never did that.
I remember
That would have
looking
that
on
would have fixed the
eBay.
no weight over the rear wheel drive issues. I think I would have had to make it a rear engine to make it work.
Yeah, you have to because there's no room in the front.
Oh, man, if I can find a cheap smart car, I'm doing that.
Yeah, that's what we said last time. And me and you spent hours one night looking on like Facebook and Marketplace and Craigslist and eBay.
Yeah.
And we
For
found
whatever
that
reason, the
jet
smart cars are
powered-
never cheap.
No, because people want to do shit like that to them.
I don't even think so, because I haven't seen that many crazy ones. Then again, I know in Boston they do smart car drag races.
We found that jet-powered smart car with a
yeah.
fucking turbine engine on the back.
I don't recall that, but okay, I'll take your word for it.
People always used to tag me in pictures of smart cars that were modded. I don't know if I've ever been tagged in a regular looking smart car picture.
It's just I love the idea of taking vehicles like that and doing crazy crap with it. I mean, more power to you. I know I could never daily drive one of those.
Yeah, I would never be able to either.
I didn't think so either until I test drove one.
Because I can say this, like, I drove my Terrain for a couple of years. I went up into a pickup truck, and now, like, I get in my mom's Acadia to, like, go pick up my grandmother or something,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, this thing is tiny. I can't do this for long. This is microscopic.
And
And I don't even have a big truck. Yeah. But I think it's just I think it's something about once you get used to driving that much higher off of the road, it's so hard to go back. That's the problem I have when I go to like a crossover or a sedan is I feel like I'm just so low to the road that I can't see anything.
That's fair.
Like that's the issue I have is I'm so used to I'm looking out over this hood, I can see like everything. Whereas then I get in a little sedan or a crossover, I'm like, I don't see shit. If I look up too high, I'm hitting my head on the roof.
Well, I guess when I drove it, I never really looked at it as like a car. It was like driving a go-kart that was street legal.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
Yeah, I get that then. I don't know. Around here, though, I would die if I drove one of those. Someone would run my ass off the road.
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. When I had to drive up a couple of times up to Green Bay for a convention, that was not the funnest thing because semis would fuck with it constantly. And the draft that semis then created, it was...
Oh my god. Dude, I know
rough.
in my truck I feel the...
Mhm.
I can only imagine in that thing. Holy shit.
Yeah. Bastards.
Like, speaking of shitty driving, just the other day, we're in my dad's truck. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You got this stretch of road. You got a rotary, 2-lane rotary. You got 2 lanes coming up to the rotary. A little bit before the rotary, you have a little short. It juts out into the island as a left turn lane to go to a parking lot. So we're in the left lane because we want to come out of the left lane of the rotary because we're turning left up at the intersection after the rotary.
Okay.
You got this woman in a Corolla or a Camry, something along the lines of that. Civic, I don't know, something like that, riding our ass in the lane. Mind you, right lane, wide open. Nobody over in the right lane. We're doing the speed limit. She's riding our ass. Well, the little left lane turnoff jut out lane comes up. She passes in the turning lane, almost clips her rear bumper, cutting us off to get back into the lane.
Like that happened to me driving home from work last week.
Yeah, but Kemet, Civic 2-inch lifted truck.
I didn't know
Lifted
it was
pickup.
2 inches.
No, my dad drives an AT4, so it's got a factory suspension lift. It's a little bit wider.
That's a big truck.
It's basically like a 2500 the way it sits.
Yeah.
Like, I it's just like, what is this person thinking? Like, if you're gonna do something stupid like that and rip past, you have a whole wide open right-hand lane.
Yeah, I hate people.
Why would you, like, almost get yourself shoved up onto an island and high-centered in your tiny little car?
Oh, that would be funny.
Like, what makes you assume that the person in this truck gives a shit?
Right?
Because, like, when you have expensive... Because modern pickup trucks are fucking expensive.
Oh, God, yeah, they are.
So you have two types of people that drive modern pickup trucks. Either people that take care of them because they spent good money on them, or people who have more money than they know what to do with and don't give a shit.
Or people that stole it.
Ah, that's true too, I guess. Who wouldn't give a shit because they stole it,
Right.
not their truck.
True.
So what makes you so confident of the 33% chance that it's the category of people who give a damn? That they're not just going to go, meh.
Well,
Like-
you said it was a female, so maybe she was expecting male chivalry. I got nothing. I don't know.
We'll say this. I think she must have realized she screwed up, because up at the light right next to her, she wouldn't even come close to looking in our direction.
Oh, that's funny.
So I think she realized, like, what? Why did I just do what I did?
She wasn't paying attention, more than likely.
But you see, I could almost get behind that if it was like they wanted to pass us in a lane that existed and then cut off a little too close on the way back in. Like, oops, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I cut off too close. To jump into a lane that's a couple 100 yards long to pass us.
Was she by herself?
Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't sure where she was going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe
Or
I'll
she
try
could
to
be
get
a-
whatever.
to get to the hospital.
She could be a complete bitch too. I don't know.
But it's just like, holy shit, what did I just watch?
People are special.
Yeah, they are. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, they are. That's for sure.
I do want to mention that I have been uploading the archived Big Box Weeklies, formerly GNL shows, up to different podcasting platforms. Spotify is one. There's a bunch.
Podbean, the other one?
There's like 10 of them. Amazon podcasts.
Damn.
I don't think.
Tim's trying to get syndicated.
Well, I mean, the program or the thing that I use will upload them, distribute them for free. So all I have to do is push a button that says distribute to blank, except for iTunes. I have to do something different for iTunes.
Are we on iTunes now?
We are not, because I don't know what iTunes account or what Apple ID to use. So we are currently not on iTunes.
Just make one with the generic email.
All right. So
I'll give you the access to that.
we'll be on iTunes then. Probably.
Some point.
Yeah. So I have a lot of back episodes.
Yeah, you're still working through the old stuff right now, right?
Yeah, I think I've gotten to, what was it, 30?
Yeah, because back then we weren't exactly good about like saving recordings of. For a while, we were just live streaming them, I think, too. Or no, for a while we were pre-recording and uploading just to YouTube. We weren't even streaming the show.
Correct.
But back then I didn't have like money for a lot of hard drive space. So once they were up, they got deleted.
Yep.
So he's been having to go back through and re-download everything from YouTube to strip the audio.
Yeah, because when you upload to a podcast, it has to be an MP3 or a WAV, because, and actually it can't be a WAV because the episodes are long enough so that it has to be under 500 megabytes or something.
Yeah.
the
And
file.
I have very minimal of the stuff like that is still on my system.
So I have to convert the MP4 file to an MP3, and I'm doing this at my job for some reason. It didn't even dawn on me to do it here. Shit.
I'm sorry. Shouldn't be laughing at you. Yeah.
So it's taking a bit, but we're getting there.
I'm going to actually look real quick and see. I don't remember how much of it got... Because there was a period of time on Big Box Weekly that I was pushing to SoundCloud. I wonder if any of that is still on SoundCloud. It is! How funny! Big Box Weekly Season 2, Episode 1 appears to be the only one. And it was titled New Year, Same Big Box.
Hey, New Year, same issues. That's
We have one post. So I guess I only posted one of them. That's how good I was about actually posting the shit.
there are a couple of JNL episodes that
It's
are
got
missing.
19 it's got 19 plays in the past 4 years.
Really?
Nice.
So, yeah. I don't know. So that's another thing I can do. I guess if you have all the audio stuff, we can post it up to SoundCloud anyway, I think. I don't know. If that's not too much of a pain in the ass, I don't know. I don't remember the workflow. Excuse me.
Once I get it to the RSS feed, I just have to do that. It'll distribute to everything then.
Oh, okay.
You guys got any goals for 2022? Short term, long term?
Make it to 2023.
I like it.
That's a good one.
That's about the only goal I ever have, so.
Gonna try and figure out a thing with Greg this year to make it easier for me to play guitar without having to put my prosthetic on because it's not comfortable.
Yes, that is a goal this year to get that sorted out. We're also, as a side benefit of this, Tim is entering into the magnificent world of additive manufacturing.
Yes.
Ooh, are you now?
Yes.
I am convinced him to buy an Ender 3, so instead of me having to keep doing prototypes and mailing them to him, I can send him a slice file and he can just plug it in on an SD card on the printer and print the prototypes himself.
Isn't that an SLA printer?
No. The Ender 3?
Yeah.
No, the Ender 3 is like one of the first rep firmware FDM printers.
Oh.
We're looking at the V2
Oh,
specifically,
okay.
but just the
I am
Ender 3.
thinking of a totally different printer.
They've been around for a while. They're doing cool
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, you're thinking of Elegoo
Yeah, I
or
was gonna say.
Sonic or something. No, I've got multiple printers. I've run a lot of them, and the Ender 3 I have not personally owned, but it's got a large community support around it. It's a very popular printer. It's a very reasonably priced printer. I think the link I sent you for the official one direct from Creality is only like $300.
Yeah.
Oh, here's
Like,
on
it's a
Amazon for
pretty sweet.
$189.
Yeah, but is that the V2?
Ah, that's the difference. Okay.
Yeah. So like it's supposedly, according to a lot of publications, it's like the best sub $300 printer. There's a lot of community support for it, and
$280. Wow.
it's a pretty straightforward setup. The only downside of the Ender 3 is that it is not a heated bed. That is the only negative. But printing in PETG, you can get around the heated bed issue by just printing your first layer hotter. Because on my printer, the way I generally set it up is because I have a heated bed, I run the heated bed, I print my first couple layers a little bit cooler so that they don't stick to the bed as much, so I can so I can pull them off the bed a lot easier. And then I up my extrusion temperature to remelt and rebond the layers a little bit better as the print goes. Excuse me.
According to the Amazon page, it has a heated bed.
Does it have a heated bed? I know it has a glass bed. Is it a heated bed?
It says the carbo whatever
Yeah, it's a
glass
carborundum glass plate bed. I didn't think it was a heated
enables
bed.
the
Glass plated.
hot bed heat up quicker and prints adhere better. So it mentions a heated bed, so I don't know if it actually has.
Well, hey, Tim, maybe don't buy the masking tape then. Actually, no, the masking tape for the glass bed's still probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, glass beds are kind of a pain. I have a fancy build tack flex plate, so I have magnets on the underside of my heated bed, so I just have a real thin piece of sheet metal on top of mine that I just pop off and I can flex it and pop my prints off.
You do also have a really cool, much more expensive printer.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to build a second one, I think.
Let me know when you do.
Actually, I just did some maintenance on it this morning because I was having a problem with layer shifting.
Oh.
So somehow I thought I solved the issue by just simply slowing down my prints and tightening up the belts a little bit. I just thought maybe, belt stretch over 4 years or 3 years of running this thing.
Been that long?
Yeah, because I bought it in 2018. So 3 years of running it. I've run thousands of prints on it. So it's like, okay, it's just getting a little old and tired, I guess. So I slowed stuff down, thought I fixed the issue, printed Tim's pick holder last week, printed some other test stuff. No layer shifting. Cool. Got it solved. Go to print a part off today. It layer shifted on like the third layer. I'm like, what the hell? So I tore it down, brought it down to the big workbench, started going through it. A set screw had totally backed all the way out. So out of the two set screws that were on one of my drive pulleys, the only one that was still tight or existent actually was not on the flat of the stepper motor shaft. It was on the round part. So on harsh acceleration changes in the negative X to Y diagonal, it could slip the pulley itself. So after getting that done and Loctited, I've done a bunch of printing. It's been printing all day. It's been printing boxes for hardware organization bins for my workshop that have an 1/8 inch wall thickness on the outside of the box, and it hasn't shifted at all after several hours of printing. So I think I've solved the issue.
Wouldn't it be easier if I just got the same printer you did?
Well,
no.
Okay, so in a small sense, maybe, but here's why no. Because this printer was only ever available as a kit. This was from my buddy's company.
Oh, yeah.
So the only way I'd be able to buy this printer for you specifically at this point is I would have to buy all of the parts. I would have to mill all of the appropriate milling on the extrusions, print all the printed parts, assemble it, program it, calibrate it, and then ship the entire printer to you and hope it didn't get damaged in transit.
So you're saying I'm not worth it?
No, I'm saying I believe it would be more of a hassle to you overall.
Yeah,
because again, where this is a printer that like literally maybe 5 of this printer exists in the world.
Okay.
Anytime I have issues with it, I have to like deep dive and figure it out.
Got it.
Like earlier today, I was ripping my hair out going through like firmware settings, trying to figure out why it was specifically doing. It's a pain in the ass. Like, I love the printer. It is a workhorse. It is awesome. But there's no support. Because, like, even my buddy that designed them since has moved out to California. So, like, I can't even be like, yo, what's going on? Let's figure this out anymore, you know?
I understand.
So, trust me, I'd love to get you set up with one of these printers, but I just think it's way more of a headache than it's worth.
Not practical.
What you're gonna be using it for.
Yeah.
Because obviously, once we get through the prototyping here, like we'll figure out moving onto like either a machining or injection molding process. So I don't know.
Cool.
It's probably hardly even worth it just for this project for you to even buy a printer, but it's definitely going to be faster than me having to ship stuff every time.
Mm-hmm. And I may come up with different shit too.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's
It's
very
just
useful to have.
once you own it's like once you own a hammer fixes everything. Once you own a 3D printer, everything's a 3D printing problem.
Okay.
Like, I look at something, like we'll look at something for a project. My dad'd be like, "Yeah, we just buy this." I'm like, "No, no, no, I'll just 3D print it." Instead of spending $10 on this part, let me spend 3 hours drawing it in CAD, and then $5 in filament and another $1 in electricity, and we'll do that instead. But
like
like
it.
I print so much stuff at this point. Like I print so many parts for boats and whatnot. Getting into like some of my custom electrical stuff, I'm exploring printing with polycarbonate now to make
Ooh.
custom parts for my systems because polycarbonate has great insulation properties. Um, and small parts, I can run off a shit ton of them, you know. And I'm starting to explore the the SLA processes for printing, and you know, different things are good for. I don't have one up here anymore, but like I started printing my molds. Like I just do a lot of 3D printing now.
You always
Nice.
have.
Yeah, even more so now than before though, dude. Like up until I had to. So when I got the SLA printers, I started leaning on them a lot more, trying to like figure out what their limitations and stuff were of different materials. And that's when I kind of started having the layer shift issue with my Bear printer. But like up until like yesterday again, when I figured out that I was having the layer shift issue still, this thing runs almost nonstop again.
Wow.
Like I'm in the middle of a 15-hour print right now. As soon as that 15-hour print is done, it's going to print another set of these because these are my hardware bins. I was starting to talk to Kevin about this before the show. These are some hardware bins for down in WHQ3. As mentioned earlier in the stream, I started a company last year. I'm getting the workshop space set up for it, doing marine electrical stuff. So for building, insert panels and stuff like that, I have various, screws, standoffs, fasteners, shit like that. So doing organizer bins because the specific drawer in my workbench bins that I have don't fit. So right now they're just in the little cardboard fastener boxes I get from McMaster. Well, I've decided what I'm doing is in the bottom of these containers, I'm going to put QR codes so that when I'm running low on hardware, I scan the QR code and it brings me right to the McMaster page so I can refill stock when it's low. So I don't have to think about it. I just go, okay, let me scan that. Great. Add to cart, ship it. I'll get it in a day or two.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm using my techie brain to make my life easier. Oh, man. We're at the 53-minute mark here, and like I feel bad. Like I want to get to that story I meant to do last week, but at the same time, I have very much dominated the show tonight.
That's all right.
Okay, screw it. We're getting into it.
All right.
So this is now 2 weeks ago at work. We're in the maintenance shop. For people who don't know, I do industrial maintenance. I can say that because there's a whole lot of industrial stuff around my area. You're never going to find the company that I'm in.
Right.
So I do industrial maintenance. I have for, I don't know, 4 years now. More than that. Christ. 5 years now, maybe. Industrial maintenance and system integration. I've been doing it for a little while.
Hot minute.
I'm not brand new to the world. I've seen some shit. I've figured some shit out in my time. So chilling in the maintenance shop, talking with my boss and my coworker, or just hanging out. Actually, we were talking about some of the marine electrical stuff, and I was geeking out over these remote battery control bistable solenoid switches that I bought that are like $300 a piece. For a customer boat. So I was like, yeah, these are the coolest freaking things. So I was geeking out about them. This microbiologist kind of pokes his head through the glass into the shop door, then opens the door and interrupts me in the middle of what I was saying and starts talking to my boss. So that already pissed me off. It's like, yeah, whatever, just come on in. So he starts talking to my boss and starts asking, kind of about the jobs in maintenance or facilities or whatever you want to call us. Because I guess apparently the world of microbiology that he spent all that money on for a degree isn't exactly paying too well. Surprise. So he's been thinking about making a move or whatever. So my boss kind of ushers him into the room so they're not having this conversation halfway in the hallway. So he's asking, like, what's the minimum that someone, what's the lowest paying job in the department? And I'm not going to go into specific numbers because I don't care to disclose how much I make.
Mm-hmm.
At least not on the stream anyway. So he says a number, and being that I'm on night shift, and so is my partner, if you've never worked night shift, most places offer a shift differential.
Mm-hmm.
So this minimum number, I make like 10% over because of working on the shift.
Right.
So homeboy makes a comment. He kind of looks in the room, makes this comment, goes like, "You mean you guys all make at least that?" And he goes, and we answered, yeah. And he goes, "Oh, well, you don't look like you make that much."
The fuck is that?
So for point of reference here, my boss is a pushover, so he wasn't going to say anything. You guys are very familiar with my attitude,
Yeah.
so I don't need to fill you in on that one. But as a point of reference, my coworker, he's about 34, 35. Before coming into the current line of work, and I worked with him at the last place, so I've worked with him for a few years. We're kind of on the same page. Prior to that, though, not only was he a Marine sergeant, he was a heavy equipment mechanic in the Marines. So we launched on this guy a little bit. Let's just say we haven't seen him since. He hasn't come back to talk to us anymore about it.
Well,
we gave him multiple opportunities to acknowledge that it was a joke or step back from his position, and he just kept digging the hole deeper. My favorite point though, this is really the crux of the story, because the rest of the details have gotten a little fuzzy. But what does someone that makes that much look like? Because I look around the room and I think they look pretty much like we look like.
Right.
And then the other one is he makes some comment like, well, you guys are just a bunch of uneducated maintenance guys.
Oh.
And my buddy goes, well, I have a college degree and 10 years of military service. So I look at him and go, and I was part of a robotics engineering master's program. So who's the uneducated one, you dumb fuck?
I love people that judge a book by its cover.
It's like, we must be doing something right since we make more than you, right? But it's like, really, dude? Are you sure? Like, that's how you feel? We're just blue-collar, uneducated people, and, you're a fancy microbiologist, so you're that much better than us because your collar's not dirty? Because you've never seen a hard day of work in your life? Like...
Some people, man, you can't back them off the edge.
And we gave him so many opportunities, and he just kept doubling down, saying dumber and dumber shit.
Yeah. When
And,
you
and like
give
I said,
yourself a goal.
finally I excused myself. So I don't know what was said after that because I actually had more important shit to do than knock this guy down a few more pegs that he already wasn't on. But yeah, no, he has not come and spoken to me or my partner since then.
Aw.
You missed
Karen,
out
I
on a
guess
new
I guess
friend.
he didn't want to continue that conversation
His loss.
because I believe one of my comments to him was, well, if you don't think I look like I make this much, God, you'd hate to see what I bill my clients outside of here. Because my hourly rate when I bill working on boats for any serious like troubleshooting, figuring out what the hell's going on, is a little better than double my rate in there.
Mm.
So if he doesn't think I look like I make that much money, holy shit. Usually I look just about like this. The sweatshirt comes off and it's just a t-shirt. Actually, I was looking today at getting some branded coveralls for having to freaking reach around inside of compartments in boats and climbing under consoles and stuff like that. You know, lying down in dirty, wet boat carpet and shit.
Not a bad
You know,
idea.
getting some Dickies jumpsuits branded.
Sounds expensive.
No, Dickies jumpsuits are like $50.
Even with your own embroidery on it?
I won't do embroidery. I'll go back to my vinyl guy and do the. Oh, I don't have a shirt.
Oh,
Oh, wait,
the
hold on.
non-vinyl thing?
I have a sweatshirt here that has been through the ringer. Because this is one of my first batch ones, and it's still in very good shape. The full vinyl on the front and the big vinyl on the back, still in very good shape.
Nice.
This has not worn off. No, this hasn't worn off.
Oh,
This was the weathered variant of my logo that I had him do on the vinyl. It doesn't look as good on this sweatshirt because it's a kind of clean sweatshirt. Yeah, that sweatshirt's not in this pile, but I have a sweatshirt that's like more of like a heathered blue that the worn looks really good on, and I have one of the two-tone baseball tees. I have a couple of those shirts, but the weathered logo looks really good on the two-tone. But yeah, so I'd go back and I'd just do the vinyl.
Okay.
Because the jumpsuit's already not going to be super breathable. The only
Right.
problem with doing the vinyl on like sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff is when you're actually kind of working and you're getting hot and whatnot, especially like the large logo, you'll notice that you start to sweat directly underneath the vinyl first.
Makes
Because it
sense.
doesn't breathe like cotton
Right.
does.
Yep.
So like if I'm working really hard wearing that sweatshirt, my back sweats a lot more than normal. Or if I'm wearing like the t-shirt where I have the big logo on the front,
Mm-hmm.
that's where I sweat. So like if it's a really hot day and I'm sweating a lot, you'll notice that the kind of gray t-shirt has a dark gray ring that matches the shape of the logo.
Got it.
But hey, whatever. It's still a lot cheaper for me to buy those blank t-shirts and then get the vinyl done on them than custom silk screening in low quantity.
Yeah.
That's true.
Unless
And
you
so
make your own
far,
silk screen.
I've been there, done that, man.
Interesting. Did not know.
Yeah, actually, I can say been there, done that. I'm going to pull this up. I have the screen sitting right here still, actually. Tim will remember this, I believe.
Yes.
Ah.
Back from the MHC days.
Yeah.
I liked this design. It's a very well-made screen. I just suck at screen printing. I am not an artist or a t-shirt maker.
I don't remember. Was that one of the designs that I made?
No, I did that one entirely. But yeah, no, that was from what the hell was that? Minecraft Hardcore Challenge back when I did that.
Yep.
I've been half
Good
debating
time.
about getting back into that.
I know where to go and find it. I do remember what channel they post the challenge videos on. Is the
Big-
community still like active?
I don't know. I know that Baker Bell just put out the January one a couple of days ago. The
Yeah.
rules.
I tell you what, Tim, if you wanted to, I would be interested in doing that in a team format with you.
Mm.
Does anyone do the update videos anymore? Those were a pain in the balls.
I don't know.
Oh God, those got harder and harder, and somehow I ended up being the person that kept getting the damn things.
You.
I also put a lot more effort into them than literally anyone else.
Well, you did, yes. And that one kid kept saying he'd do it, and then
he just never posted it.
right, something kept.
And that's
coming
when
up.
I posted that. That's when I posted that video about commitment and burning bridges.
Yep.
Oh, good times. I remember like back because I was working that enterprise computer job at that point. I remember like on my lunch breaks going out into my car and sitting there and on my phone watching the videos on like 4 times speed. And then yeah, I was like speed watching them, man.
Yep.
I tried watching a video the other day like on just 2 times speed, and I was like, how did I ever used to do faster than this? Because I got to a point where, depending on specifically the video, I could watch videos and understand the content at like 6 times speed.
Well, I think with the MHC it was a little easier because everybody was on the same seed, and you kind of knew what to expect.
Well, I don't even mean just the MHC. Like, I was regularly consuming YouTube videos of all sorts at like 4 to 6 times speed.
Oh.
I learned that trick from a coworker I had at the time, who was very much on the spectrum. And he goes, yeah, this is the only way I can absorb content, is because I walked into his office one day and he was listening to a video on his speakers in his office. And it's just going like, and I'm like, how the hell do you understand that? And he goes, just try it. So I started at 2x, and then you listen to 2x enough, and 2x feels normal. So then you bump it up a little bit, and then that feels normal, and you just work up from there.
Nutty.
Oh man. Well, we've gone well over our hour now at this point.
We have.
Yeah, 7 whole minutes.
I think that's more than enough free TV for these folks.
And radio.
Pay for more.
Yeah, you gotta pay for more.
All right, guys. Well, good show, Greg.
Yeah, I think that was a wonderful show. I only talked for about 55 minutes of it.
And all of it was quality.
We'll go with that. We'll see what stays on the cutting room floor.
So, Kevin, you want to take us out? Are you still here?
No, I'm not.
He's gone.
Unfortunately.
That
Yeah.
fish killed him.
What fish?
Did you not pull up the stream?
Oh, that fish. Yeah, no, I never did pull it. I minimized it after it was open.
Wow.
Yep, the fish got me. This big ass fucking teeth.
That was a toothy critter.
Nom, 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 nom.
Well, thank you guys for watching.
Absolutely.
And, we will see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Same bad content.
Yep, pretty much.
Yep.
Later.